You've probably had moments where you caught a girl doing something small, and then immediately told yourself it meant nothing. She looked over, fixed her hair, smiled for half a second, then looked away, and you brushed it off. Because most guys are terrified of reading it wrong. Fair enough. But here's what most men never realize. When a girl's attracted to you, the signs usually aren't loud. They're subtle on purpose. They show up in quick, almost invisible shifts, in her attention, her body language, and the way she suddenly becomes more aware of herself around you. And one of the biggest signs happens right before she wants you to notice her, but almost no man picks up on it in the moment. Stay with me, because that's the one most guys miss until it's too late. So what does it actually look like when a girl is checking you out? Most men think attraction always looks obvious. They assume that if she likes you, she'll stare, flirt hard, laugh loudly, make it easy. And sometimes that happens. But most of the time, especially early on, attraction is quieter than that. It looks like curiosity mixed with caution. Here's the thing. A woman who's interested usually doesn't want to risk looking too interested too soon. So instead of broadcasting it, she tests the space between you. She glances, then withdraws. She pays attention, then acts like she wasn't. That back and forth, that's the signal. It's not randomness. It's her trying to see if you notice, without making herself feel exposed. And that matters, because a lot of men only recognize attraction when it's practically handed to them. But real attraction often starts before words ever show up. It starts in attention. And when a woman keeps giving you little pieces of her attention, that's usually not accidental. That's interest, looking for safety. One thing you'll notice is how she suddenly becomes more aware of how she appears when you're around. Have you ever seen a girl adjust her hair, fix her posture, smooth her outfit, or check herself the moment she notices a certain guy nearby? A lot of men assume that has nothing to do with them. They think, she's just being self-conscious, or, she probably does that all the time. But here's what most people don't realize. People naturally self-regulate when someone they care about is in view. When attraction kicks in, self-awareness goes up. She becomes more conscious of her face, her clothes, her body language, even the way she's standing. Not because she's insecure, but because your presence suddenly matters. You change the atmosphere for her, and that's the part men miss. She's not just fixing her hair, she's responding to being seen by someone she wants to look good in front of. That tiny adjustment is often one of the earliest signs that your opinion has entered the room, before you've even said a word. Then there's the look away. Ever notice how some girls will look at you, and the second you catch them, they break eye contact and act busy? Most guys read that as rejection. They think, if she looked away, she's probably not interested. But here's something that might surprise you. Looking away quickly is often what happens when she got caught being interested, before she was ready to own it. If the glance meant nothing, there'd be no reaction. But when there's a quick pullback, a hidden smile, or a sudden shift into pretending she was focused on something else, that usually means your attention mattered more than she expected. Watch the sequence. If she looks away, and then checks again a few seconds later, that's one of the clearest patterns. The first look is curiosity. The second look is confirmation. She's not just noticing you, she's rechecking you. And that's important. Indifference doesn't keep returning. Interest does. When her eyes keep coming back, she's telling you that something about you pulled her in strongly enough that she couldn't just leave it alone. Another one most men completely overlook is when she starts placing herself in your orbit without a strong reason. Have you ever had a girl suddenly appear near you more often, join conversations she didn't need to join, linger a little longer than necessary, or find small reasons to be where you are? Most men explain that away as coincidence. They tell themselves not to overthink it. But think about it for a second. People move toward what they want more exposure to. Attraction rarely starts with boldness, it starts with proximity. She wants more chances for interaction, more opportunities for you to notice her, more moments where something can naturally happen without her having to force it. So she makes herself available. Not obviously, just enough. And that shift changes everything. Because interest isn't only about what she says, it's about whether she keeps creating openings. If she keeps ending up near you, keeps making it easy for the moment to continue, keeps leaving the door slightly open, that's usually not random luck. That's an invitation, just in a softer form. You'll also see it in the way she reacts to your attention compared to everyone else's. Does she get a little brighter when you speak to her? Laugh a little quicker at your jokes? Hold eye contact just a bit longer? or suddenly seem more animated once you enter the conversation. A lot of men miss this because they're listening to her words and ignoring the shift in her energy. That's not just friendliness, that's investment. When someone's attracted, their responsiveness changes. Her face becomes more expressive. Her tone softens or sharpens in a different way. She starts giving you more than the bare minimum. Maybe she teases you a little. Maybe she remembers something small you said. Maybe she finds subtle ways to keep the interaction alive. Attraction shows up in differential treatment. Not how she acts in general, but how she acts with you. If she feels more present, more tuned in, more alive with you than she does with other people, that's one of the strongest signs there's something real underneath it. There's also a quieter signal that almost always gets overlooked, and it shows up when she notices you paying attention to other women. Have you ever seen a girl go a little colder, a little quieter, or suddenly more curious the moment another woman gets your attention? Most guys either miss that completely or assume it means nothing. But here's the truth. Attraction creates awareness of competition. Not always in some dramatic, obvious way, but in subtle shifts. She becomes more alert when your attention moves elsewhere, because on some level, she cares where that attention goes. You'll see it in micro reactions. Her mood changes slightly. She inserts herself back into the moment. She asks a question out of nowhere. She re-engages after seeming passive. That reaction matters, because it reveals something she wasn't planning to say out loud. If your attention didn't matter, losing it wouldn't change her behavior. But when she starts recalibrating the moment another woman enters the frame, that usually means she was more invested than she let on. Now let's get to the sign most men miss until the moment has already passed. What does it mean when a girl makes herself visible to you, before she makes herself available to you? This is the one buried underneath almost everything we've talked about. Before a woman openly flirts, before she asks personal questions, before she gives you anything obvious, she often tries to enter your awareness first. She'll pass by a little slower. She'll position herself where you can see her. She'll fix her appearance right in your line of sight. She'll glance, withdraw, then reappear. She's trying to answer one simple question before she risks anything more. Do you notice me too? And that happens for a few reasons. Part of it is self-protection. She doesn't want to feel rejected by making the first move too boldly. Part of it is emotional calibration. She's reading your energy before committing hers. And part of it is attraction itself. Because when someone affects you, you naturally want to affect them back. You want to enter their mind, before you try to enter their life. That's why these signs are so easy to miss. Men are often waiting for clear permission, while women are often looking for perceptive confidence. Not arrogance. Not pressure. Just awareness, the ability to notice the moment she quietly placed in your path, and meet it without overthinking it. Because when a woman keeps finding small, subtle ways to appear in your world, she's not asking you to solve some impossible mystery. Sometimes, she's just hoping you'll be the kind of man who notices the effort behind the subtlety. And that, more than anything, is what makes her feel seen.